Hey guys, what's up and welcome back! Okay, something different than air guns. I said I'd get to some music stuff. I know, I'm still working on RC stuff, eventually. Anyways, so we were in Value Village today, and we're always looking for score deals of some sort. And we got a few deals, so if you want to know about all the deals we got today, also check out my wife's channel, Susan Millard. This one was my score. A Hercules double guitar stand in virtually mint condition, really. I mean, I can't find any damage on it anywhere, so we'll say mint, but used. And it is adjustable for height. The stand is something that it goes down so far and that's it, and I would definitely recommend going with the full spread width of the stand for best stability. And this is just for hanging on, you know, electric guitars, acoustic guitars. I put on one of each, and of course you just lift it off and away you go. Log it back down and it stays there. And the little fingers come down and grab your guitar. And either way, it's pretty rock stable. Now, I will say this. I have never been a huge fan of Hercules stuff. Only because of, you know, the outside of this is obviously all plastic. I don't know what the inside guts are like. I've never had them apart. But I've always been kind of leery just because of the outside portion alone. I've never really cared much for the Hercules products. But from what I know about them, they do make some really, really good products. And I thought, you know what? For $15, $14.99 is all they wanted for this thing. I still have the sticker on it down below. I figured, how can you go wrong? So I looked it up at Long & McQuade, checked out some reviews. We'll talk about that in a minute. The retail price on this is $88.99. So 90 bucks Canadian, plus tax, right? And I'm thinking, okay. I mean, generally I hang my guitars on the wall anyway. I was thinking, you know, maybe this might be a good thing for me and the worship leader to use in church, because right now, our stands that we do have at the church that belong to the church, they're getting kind of ratty. And I thought, well, maybe I'll bring this in. I'm going to have to still talk to him about it and see what he thinks. But stability-wise, on a solid floor like this, it's rock solid. You know, I mean, it's not going anywhere too easily. I mean, if you look at, you know, if you bumped into it this way, you've got the main back foot the other way. This is like a wide open space this way, but it's the direction I'm facing. I can turn this whole unit around and then it'd be this way. So it depends on how you really set it up. But, you know, on a carpet is where I would be concerned, and our stage is carpeted, and it does have kind of a cushiony thing underneath it, right? It's not like hard, you know, carpet onto the floor straight on. There's that liner underneath. So I'm not sure how it's going to react there. But, of course, we have to test these things to find out. But as far as being stable and strong on a floor, I mean, the thing is definitely rock solid. And, you know, I can pick up my electric guitar. Now, this thing weighs a ton compared to my acoustic. And we're still pretty solid. Like, unless you're, you know, flying into the thing, you don't have to worry about it. So, that gets us to the reviews. It hasn't got much of a review following for good reviews on the Long & McQuade website. And I thought, well, you know, I take stuff with a grain of salt, and I think everybody should when it comes to written stuff, because let's face it, there are a lot of people out there that have no idea even how to properly use some of the things that they're reviewing. So that's evident from the way their reviews are, because I've bought the same stuff, curiosity of course, or just interested period, and found the complete opposite a lot of the times. Okay, very rare do I ever get something where I would say it would line up with everybody else's review saying the thing was junk. You know, so that's kind of where I stand on it. So where I'm looking at with this thing as far as stability goes, yeah, it's pretty rock solid as far as being on a floor like this. I will see what it's like, you know, on a carpeted surface that's got padding underneath, because that would be a big thing. For stability factor, you know, and these are the environments is what you're looking at where it comes to how stable is a stand. You know, a single stand is fairly stable on its own. Double stands, they have triple stands from Hercules, and many other companies make this sort of thing too, right? Also, it's adjustable for height. You can just push on this and just, you know, let it down to where you need it. That would probably be about the lowest I would push it, because too much lower my guitar is going to run into the leg. And that's still, you know, the lower it is, the more stable it's going to be too, but you don't want it too low either, right? So you want to have some clearance between your guitar and the legs, obviously. So, and it does go very compact when it comes to transporting this thing, because you just undo the screw, slide all that up, the legs come up, this will go all the way down, and these things here, you just pull them forward, like so, and they fold right down. Both of them will do that, right? And then this will also fold up, which will adjust the height of this to where you need it, and that you can actually do on the fly. So it's just a matter of lifting this up, lifting this one up, and then pushing this down to where you need the stability. And it also controls, to a certain point, some of the kick-out angle of your guitar, right? And you can adjust this to sit, you know, as flat as possible type of thing, right? But I think it's a great looking machine. I have no idea how old this particular unit is. Like I said, I bought it used, but they still make them, so can't be that old. Why the person got rid of it, anybody's guess. Have no idea. Maybe the person gave up guitar and thought, well, ditch this, or you know, maybe they went to hanging their guitars up on the walls. Generally, like I said, that's what I do. If I don't end up using this at church, I'll probably end up just using it here at the house, you know. It does have a use either way. Doesn't matter to me. I kind of like the way it sits with the two guitars. I think that's kind of neat. But as far as build quality goes, from what I'm seeing, it's built very good. Like, these are steel locking collars, and they are, you know, they are spring loaded as well. You know, so they got a good strong spring in there to hold themselves. And there's a lot of metal meat grabbing that area, so you know, you're not going to have a problem with this. The only area I'm concerned about at all is going to be in this area for the long haul use, because this part is plastic, this is plastic. I don't know what the guts are like in between, but we'll see. We'll see how durable it is. I mean, you know, you treat your stuff right, it treats you right. You abuse it, yeah, it's going to do the same back to you. So that's kind of how I look at karma of equipment that we own. You know, but I think otherwise it seems to be a pretty solid unit. I will not consider this to be a review. This is kind of just, this is my score video. This is what I got today. It looks pretty good. It's not cheap to buy it new. Like I said, $90 Canadian, or $89.99 or $88.99, whatever it was. Call it 90 bucks, round it off. But either way, seems pretty cool. And like I said, it seems to be, you know, overall very well built. But I don't agree with the stability problems that people have had on the reviews they've done on this, because I find, you know, this way, you know, it's very stable. Going back this way, very stable. Maybe going this way might be an issue, but it depends on how you set the thing up, how it's going to be. It's also, you know, another thing I think the problem is where people get into these stability problems with these multi-stands is, you know, people grab, but maybe they're grabbing too quick and they're not paying attention, right? You know, so you got to have these forks totally release. People do that all the time, you know, and I've seen even single stands that are on a hanger type system, right, where it's got this sort of thing too up top with the locker, and people grab them too fast, and then yeah, the stand goes flying. Or yeah, your stand tries to keep the guitar in there because you're whipping it out too fast, you know, off the stand, and this is not cool. This is just plain out ignorance of the equipment, and that's where I think a lot of these problems stem from. It's not the equipment, it's the operator, and a lot of it, actually, to be honest, I've seen so much of it over the years. I've seen more operator error than it is anything else. But we will let you know how it goes when I do the review. I'll let you know what it was like as far as even using it in the church. I don't see a problem with us being able to do that. Definitely would save space for the two of us, that's for sure. And it'll look actually look better, you know, than one over here, one over there, and you know, nobody would run into our guitars either, and you know, depending on where we set it up, of course. But I think that'd be cool. So we'll see. So do stay tuned. There will be a review down the road for this. But so far, I'm saying, yeah, for the price, I mean, you definitely can't beat it. Always go to places like Value Village and recycle places. You never know what you're going to find in those places. You know, one man's junk is another man's treasure. In this case, somebody's really expensive stuff was my treasure for today's score. And with the discount, I only ended up paying $12. You know, so really, how do you sneeze at that? You know, and there's nothing wrong with the unit anywhere. I found no problems with it. You know, the lock mechanism works fine. There's no missing or broken parts or cracked parts anywhere. You know, so who knows why the person got rid of it, but I ain't complaining. I got it, and I'm happy. So that's pretty good. Anyways, that's today's video. In conclusion, we shall catch you guys on the next one. See ya.